Coming up on Fulton Today, employees at the Justice Center complex learn how to respond in an active shooter situation. We'll have details. And the Fulton County no-kill policy at its animal shelter has its team asking for the public's help in saving unwanted animals. Fulton Today starts right now. Welcome to Fulton Today, everybody. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Fulton County Sheriff's deputies close off one of their courtrooms to get employees ready in the case of an active shooter. Now, this training came 11 years almost to the day that many of these employees faced a real-life gunman in that very courthouse. FGTV's Priscilla Ortega was at the training. Priscilla?
Fulton County has had an experience with a gunman on the loose at the courthouse. So this was the perfect place the Sheriff's Department wanted to hold its active shooter training. And because many remember what happened in March 2005, they are serious about this training.
No one leaves the house thinking to themselves, I'm going to be confronted by an active shooter today.
Inside a courtroom, employees learn about 3 words that could save their life one day: run, hide, and fight.
It can certainly happen to every place that you frequent every single day. Your workplace, here at the courthouse, it can happen, it has happened.
11 years ago, the courthouse was the scene of a deadly shooting spree after a defendant, Brian Nichols, overpowered a deputy, stole her gun, and started shooting.
Since then, it definitely has opened my eyes to a lot that goes on, here in the courthouse, and just being alert of, what's happening.
While the Sheriff's Department trains their officers often, this is the first time civilian workers are getting active shooter training.
I think what's most important is that they can actually help to save their own life. And it's just a choice that they'll have to make if presented with any type of a shooting situation.
The Sheriff's Department says if you can't quickly run to an exit for safety, then buy yourself time. Find a place where you can come in, lock a door, and barricade yourself with any large objects you can find. Then hide and silence your phone until law enforcement arrives. Captain Gates says the last option is to fight. Use any object around you, including a fire extinguisher or stapler. Courthouse employees say this is information they will share with coworkers.
Let them know, if this happens, run, hide, fight, so we can live to see another day.
The Sheriff's Department will continue to hold these active shooter trainings for courthouse employees, then move on to other county employees in other government buildings. Reporting in downtown Atlanta, I'm Priscilla Ortega for FGTV.
Thank you very much, Priscilla. Meanwhile, citizens are learning more about crime and safety in their very own communities thanks to an ongoing program by the police department. It's called Coffee with a Cop. The latest gathering was held at the Bojangles on Old National Highway in College Park. Citizens got a chance to ask questions and voice concerns about their crime and safety issues.
I think it's a great idea because there's a perception that they're, for lack of a better way of putting it, the enemy, the bad folks, things of that nature. So I think it's about a good idea for them to come out, introduce themselves, people get to know them as people, not just as law enforcement. I think it's a great idea.
A number of times we meet, 2 or 3 at these meetings who've never spoken to a police officer. So, in doing that, again, it's about breaking down those barriers, making, like I said, a more approachable, friendly face for police departments in order that, again, true dialogue can go along, conversations, and those are the things that we need to make things work better for everybody.
Fulton's Police Department began hosting these gatherings this year. The nationwide initiative is a part of the national call to improve police and community relations. Seniors with disabilities and those new to the county learn how to safely use mass transit. It was all a part of a crisis intervention seminar sponsored by MARTA. Participants first learned how to navigate the system.
Someone will work with them to help them understand how to use the system, how to use schedules, identify landmarks, use our Breeze machine to load money or trips onto their cards.
The seminar also included important information for riders with disabilities, like the paratransit program.
I'm handicapped and I'm protected. I don't have any kind of fear. It's just beautiful.
The mass transit system also uses technology to help passengers stay safe.
We have a MARTA See and Save app in which you can download for free in Google Play, and you can discreetly contact us if you see something without, having to actually confront or give us a phone call.
You can learn more about the mass transit system through its travel training program. You can contact that information right there on your screen. Vendors and suppliers get important information on how to do business with the county. It was a networking event sponsored by the county's Department of Information Technology, along with purchasing and contract compliance. Vendors and suppliers who attended the event were able to talk one-on-one with county representatives and the new head of the county's IT department.
We at IT have a lot of projects that are coming up for 2016, 17, and 18, and we want to find out what the offerings are, and we're opening up the doors to the vendors in the Georgia areas.
Attendees included representatives from across Georgia and the Atlanta area interested in doing business with the county. Fulton County's Animal Services needs help maintaining its no-kill level. Now, since earlier this year, the Lifeline Animal Project has saved the lives of over 90% of the animals brought to the shelter, but they need the public's help to keep this policy going. FGTV's Felicia Church has the story.
The numbers represent a big improvement since Lifeline took over the shelter 3 years ago. At that time, the shelter was euthanizing 1,500 animals a year. In February of this year, that total dropped to 132 animals euthanized.
So we're very excited about our 90% live release rate, and we feel very confident that we're going to be able to continue that throughout the remainder of the year and beyond.
There have been a number of changes that help Lifeline achieve this milestone, moving away from the role of the so-called dog catcher to an animal services officer who distributes information about the responsibilities of having a pet and the importance of taking care of them. Their vehicles can scan all animals for microchips and help locate their owners before it is brought to the shelter. They also help educate the public about animal cruelty.
We've added 2 cruelty investigators to our team, so we have the resources now to definitely investigate any animal cruelty or abuse, and we encourage the community to report that.
Lifeline's Community Assistance Program will help owners with transportation to get their pets spayed or neutered, and they offer programs and adoption specials on a regular basis. Programs like Dog for a Day and foster care allows you to take a pet home for 2 weeks to make sure you're ready to adopt. If you're still not sure about becoming a pet owner, stop by the shelter and see what they have to offer. You just might find your forever friend. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Felicia Church.
Thank you very much. Now, again, you can help the Lifeline Animal Project increase its no-kill levels by adopting a new friend. From now until the end of the month, adoptions at all Lifeline shelters will include free spay and neuter microchips and vaccines. The contact information is listed on your screen. And when we come back, we'll tell you what brought a Japan official right here to the government center. Stay with us. Fulton's chairman welcomes a consul general to the government center headquarters, and North Fulton seniors get some important safety advice from law enforcement. Here's this week's district by district coverage. We begin with Chairman John Eves as he sits down with the newest international consul general to make Fulton County home, Takashi Shinozuka. from Japan paid a courtesy visit to the at-large commissioner at the Fulton County Government Center. The consul and the chairman are working toward bringing more companies to Fulton County, even though over 120 companies are already here.
Japan is one of the great economic powers in the world, and we have a presence here not only in terms of a consul general's office, but we have quite a few companies here, and also citizens or residents who are descendants from Japan. And so it's about economic development as well as cultural exchanges. So this is a very exciting meeting, and I'm looking forward to forging a good partnership with the Consul General's Office of Japan.
The consul says there are very specific reasons why Japan companies keep calling Fulton County.
A very nice environment, a very friendly atmosphere, and the security.
The chairman says Fulton is also looking for ways to have a greater presence in Japan. In District 3, seniors hear firsthand how they should be keeping themselves safe from would-be predators and criminals. A deputy from the Fulton County Sheriff's Office gave participants at the Dorothy C. Benson Senior Multipurpose Facility tips based on the most frequent crimes committed against their demographic.
We're going on over financial. We're going over personal, such as their purses, they're getting in and out of their cars, their homes, their apartments, obviously scams, telephone solicitation, mainly how to stay safe in the stores or in the parking lots or just even walking around town.
I learned how to stay safer in every situation, especially in handling things like my purse, doing it a different way than what I'm accustomed to.
The participants took detailed notes and asked plenty of questions. The deputy says the more of these one-on-one workshops they can do, the fewer the victims. And finally, the Westlake High School varsity boys basketball team is given an official proclamation from Fulton commissioners in recognition of the team's recent state basketball championship. Co-sponsored by District 6 Commissioner Emma I. Darnell and District 5 Commissioner Marvin Arrington Jr., the team was praised for its 68-58 overtime win over Pebblebrook High School.
They reward you by working hard, coming to practice, showing discipline, showing hard work, and working hard in the classroom.
Sometimes in life we are losing, and you keep your eyes on the losing part and not on what the goal is, which is winning. And that made me feel really proud to be their principal, that they had the maturity, the grit, the wherewithal, the knowledge to know that it may appear as if you are losing, but you can still win.
The team, their family members, and fans all enjoyed a pre-board meeting reception in the Fulton County Government Center. The team's coach said it was pure discipline that helped the players win the Georgia High School Association's state basketball championship. Now you can catch more of your commissioners at work all this week with the rebroadcast of the Board of Commissioners meeting right here on FGTV. And still to come, the county takes its HIV and AIDS fight to local businesses. We'll explain when we come back. Fulton's health team is partnering with local businesses in the fight against HIV. Now, this initiative is a part of a new program taking part in cities all across the country. FGTV's Lynn Vaughn explains.
The idea of the program is simple. Distribute information and even condoms to businesses like barber and beauty shops that customers visit frequently. Now, the CDC-developed program is targeting restaurants and bars, car washes, and dry cleaning businesses to further spread the HIV prevention message.
Businesses speak with their employees every day, all year round. So in terms of sustainability, that continues continued voice and conversation is there with the businesses. And then also for, if you look at the smaller organizations like or entities like salons and barbershops, they're there having a good time. They talk about their life, and it's not in a kind of formatted way. It's very organic. And when you talk about HIV, we talk about sexual health. It can't be in a box.
Latasha Wright is an enthusiastic participant in business response to AIDS. In her salon, she displays signs and has free condoms for the taking.
When you walk in, immediately you'll see a little bit of signage. I also have the material, and it's a condom distribution site as well. So guess what? It's sitting there, and if it disappears, you wanted it. It's there for the taking, and it's very obvious that I'm here to definitely talk about sex. When we talk about teen pregnancy, we talk about HIV, we talk about AIDS. All that's prevented by safe sex, and I'm realizing that right now I'm so geared towards and passionate about this because if you listen to what's going on in the entertainment industry, which I love, sex is too casual.
Fulton's Barber Beauty Shop program has received honors, but more to the point, says the program administrator, it's working.
I truly believe that in order for us to get to zero, that there are people who need to know their HIV status and they are not coming to our traditional places for testing, and so we have to take testing to our communities and non-traditional partners.
If you're a business owner who would like to be part of the Business Response to AIDS team, visit any of the websites you see on your screen. Reporting for FGTV, I'm Lynn Vaughn.
Thank you very much, Lynn. Meanwhile, county officials are taking their All People Are Healthy priority and making it a pledge with their workforce. The employees now have new types of fitness classes each week to participate in at the county facilities.
The fitness classes are only one component. We also have a nutrition component, which we will be having lunch and learns throughout the whole year, again at the 4 locations. So we want our employees to take advantage of these free programs that are going to help you live a longer, healthier life.
It was great, and I'm going to complete the whole 6 weeks, and by the end of the 6 weeks, I'm going to know every step that she's teaching us.
The workouts are in the early morning, during the lunch hour, and after work hours. The program is sponsored by one of the county's insurance providers, Blue Cross Blue Shield. The Employee Wellness Committee encourages workers to participate in them because they believe that a healthy workforce is a more productive one. Fulton's cooperative extension agents are making sure that the locally grown produce you buy is safe. The agents explained several important guidelines during the Enhancing Safety of Locally Grown Foods event at the North Fulton Service Center. Now, agents say there are many ways local farmers and gardeners can prevent contamination.
First, you definitely need to make sure that your land and your soil are following strict guidelines relating to the irrigation water, to the compost that you're using, all the way to worker and volunteer hygiene, making sure that you're having correct hand washing practices.
The Extension Office recommends using water from a municipal water supply or water from a well or a pond that has been professionally tested. Also, once you harvest, get the produce out of the heat quickly and into a refrigerator or cooler. To learn more about these locally grown seminars, you can just call the Extension Service at 404-332-2400. And when we come back, another idea to keep your child active during spring break. Stay with us. Parents, listen up. The South Fulton Tennis Center is preparing to host a spring break camp. Staff will teach children ages 6 to 18 years old the fundamentals of tennis at the recently renovated courts. Participants don't have to have tennis experience, just a willingness to learn and have fun. Kids 10 and under will be using smaller courts and rackets, while the older students will be playing on the larger courts, which are 78 feet.
Some of the things that they will learn the basic fundamentals of the game in terms of the forehand, the backhand, the serve. They'll also begin to do some match play where they'll begin to learn how to keep the score, those kinds of things.
I think it's a sport of life because you learn about not taking things your way. You gotta respect people.
The South Fulton Tennis Center camps run from April 4th to the 8th. You can call 678-640-7318 to sign up your child. And finally, a huge congratulations to a county team that won the state basketball championship. This picture says it all. The 8 and under boys basketball team from Burdett Park held up their trophy after an amazing undefeated season and a nail-biting finish. The team celebrated their win at the Georgia Recreation Parks and Association State Championship Tournament in Bartow County. The Burdett Trojans won the title in a hard-fought game with a score of 39-38.
Our team was actually down as much as 6 points with almost a little over 2 minutes left in the game. Our coach called the timeout, got the boys settled down, got them to believe in themselves, and they went out, man, and the next thing you know, they were fighting and clawing, and they got the lead, and they held the lead.
The Parks and Recreations Department staff is proud of all of the teams that advanced to the state tournament. There were a total of 7 teams from Fulton County that played in the games. And of course, congratulations to them all. Now, before we go, we want to remind you that we'd like to connect with you online. Check us out anytime on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and of course, our YouTube channel. Well, that does it for this edition of Fulton Today. I'm Shania Chavis-Rucker. Thank you so much for watching. Join us each week for news around and about Fulton County.